Miss Lizzie. I don't ever smoke the dizzy, but we can always share some dizzies. It's just a cup in time. This song doesn't have to rhyme. Life's all of us, not every moment we can be feeling fine. I wanna share a moment, just a second if you will, maybe even a cup of thrill. We could share this performance. It's tea time, come sit with me.
Well, welcome guys. Miss Liz is back and I have the incredible Mikael avatar in the back, and he's coming in all the way in from Thailand. That's right. We're going to share his story and his movement and all that good stuff. But before we get started, you guys know how Miss Liz rolls. Get over to Miss Liz's platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, all those good platforms. Give that a like, follow, and subscribe. And let's share these tea times because they do make a difference, not only for my guests, but also for people who will resonate with the stories that are being shared on this platform. So let's get started with disclaimer and then an intro, and let me get Mikael in here and we're going to spill some tea. And tonight's tea that we're serving is Transformation, Endurance, Empowerment, Born Dead, World Record, and Authentic Power. That is the tea we are serving. So Mikael's going to share some of his story with all of us tonight. So disclaimer for Miss Liz's Tea Time live show. Miss Liz's Tea Time is a global platform dedicating to sharing real life stories, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations that inspire awareness, healing, and connection. I'm Miss Liz going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment during the live broadcast, please grant StreamYard permission to display your name at StreamYard.com. Please be advised that all the content brought forward during any Tea Time show is presented in good faith. However, discussions may include opinions, beliefs, and perspectives that do not necessarily represent the views of Miss Liz or the Tea Time platform. Information shared by the guests is based on their own experiences and is perceived to be accurate at the giving time of airing. All guests, viewers, and participants are responsible for using their own judgment when considering any action or decision that may relate to these discussions. Some episodes may cover sensitive topics, including but not limited to trauma, abuse, grief, mental health, and other emotionally triggering subjects. Listeners and viewers' discretion is strongly advised. Tea Time with Miss Liz is an open discussion forum designed to offer insight, inspire awareness, and create connection. It is not a substitute for professional, medical, legal, or therapeutical advice. If you require professional support, please seek assistance from qualified professionals or trusted resources in your area. If you have any questions regarding this disclaimer or the content of the discussion, you are welcome to contact me, aka Miss Liz, directly at my email at bookingmissliz@gmail.com or check out my link tree at Miss Liz's Tea Time. By choosing to participate in, comment on, or view these live shows, you acknowledge and accept this disclaimer. Your participation is entirely voluntary. I, Miss Liz, welcomes you to join the conversation with an open heart, and if at any time you feel this platform is not right for you, I respect your wishes and decision, and we'll welcome you back whenever you're ready. Tea Time with Miss Liz is serving truth and awareness one cup at a time. Well, first I want to welcome everybody back to Tea Time for the evening tea time, where every cup we pour invites courage, awareness, and truth. Today's guest has lived a life that most call impossible. Mikael Avatar was born without a heartbeat for 45 minutes in a Swedish hospital. Doctors believed he would never walk, never live a normal life. Yet not only did he walk, he became a Paralympic world record holder in long jump in Atlanta despite cerebral palsy. He later sailed across the Atlantic Ocean alone, facing storms, isolation, and the limits of his own mind. From the outside, his life looked extraordinary. Medals, stages, coaching, thousands worldwide. But inside, he was battling something deeper, what he calls the false avatar, the mask of the unbreakable performer. After burnout and personal collapse, he left everything and moved to Thailand, spending years in silence, reflection, and presence. Out of that journey was born the Mikael Avatar Method, a powerful 4-step path: awareness, acceptance, alignment, and action. Today, he mentors leaders and high performers around the world to drop the false avatar and step into authentic power. Mikael, your story is not just about resilience, it's about identity, transformation, and truth. Welcome to Tea Time. Let me get him in here and let's spill some tea together. Welcome, Mikael.
Thank you so much, Liz. Wow, what an intro.
It is a pleasure to have you here and a pleasure to be all the way in Thailand in my magic office chair.
Wow, same to be in your magic office in Canada. That's, that's incredible that we can connect all over the world live.
Absolutely. Mikael, tell us who you were as a little boy and who you are now.
The little boy had endless possibilities. Endless. When I was 4 years old, my hands were like this. I couldn't open my hands. My feet was opposite of Charlie Chaplin, so it was inside. And when I was 4 years old, I went to my mom, I know what I want to be when I grow up. What? I want to be a mountain climber. And she said, that's not possible. Why? You can't make money on that. But she was so wrong because my passion for mountains, climbing, so I became a climbing instructor. So 20 years later, I had groups learning them how to climb. And you should see their eyes when they understood I was the instructor. You can't pay any money for that reaction. So the little Michael, he was with endless possibilities. I never gave up. Another funny story, when you're 5, 6 years old, you should learn how to bicycle. But they didn't think I could bicycle, so they ordered a special bike. But they forget to tell me, so I borrow the bikes outside my door and learned how to bicycle by myself. And these, I had scrapes everywhere, blood everywhere, but I learned how to bicycle by myself, so they have to cancel the bicycle. And that was the little Michael, always doing things. I remember my mom, the principal of the school, told her, I admire you with your son. Why? Because you push him all the time up. Oh, sorry, said my mother. I don't push him. I try to stop sticks in his wheels because he's always flying away to some incredible, impossible adventure. So that was a short introduction for my little Michael.
And who is the big Michael?
The big Michael, he had a long life experience being in the present. I rarely are outside the present. And in the present, I create my life. When I talk to people, when I go do my music, when I do my art, I'm always in the present. And the big Michael, he loves people. He loves to follow people through their life and how they climb their mountains and achieve their greatness, success. And it's so stuck in my heart to listen, understand, to see how people grow. It, it has never left me. I have tried so many times. I started 78 with life coaching. I had no clue what it was, but it has never left. I have tried to stop so many times, but the glimpse in the eye, it's, I feel so free when I can talk to people and see them grow. So, yeah, something like that. What do you think?
So, Big Michael, talk to me about the Paralympics, the long jump record.
Yeah, Paralympics. It's 2 weeks after the normal Olympic, or what I should call it. And I love to jump. I have always loved jumping, competing with my classmates, jumping. And when I was 10 years old, I had a friend. We were watching the the Olympics for Moscow. I think it was 1980, and he was going to train to the Olympic. So I went with him training, and with the bicycle, he was running, and then he stopped. Now it's your turn. So I ran down the hill and up the hill. It was like 200 meters. I was so tired, so I fell down, and but there on this road, I decided I'm going to train to the Olympic. So I started training. So I knew I had to go up early in the morning. So I went up like 4 or 5 o'clock, did my running, came home, shower, went to school. And in the afternoon, I trained too. So, and 10 years later, they told me there is something called Paralympic. Then I knew I'm going to go to Paralympic. It took me 7 more years, and I was in Atlanta. I even ran 200-meter final in the Atlantic Paralympic. And it's just, it was my biggest love to train. It was my biggest. I don't think even I was dreaming of going to the Olympic. I think I dream of how much can I train my body to open my hands, to speak properly, it was my inner goal that drove me to train those. It's about 15,000 hours to train to an Olympic if you want to achieve something. 5,000, then you are quite skilled. 5,000 more, 10,000, probably you're in the top 1%. And the other 5,000, then you're probably within the 5 best in the world. And this applies to anything. You don't need talent. You don't need, you just need the hours. That's it.
Self-belief in yourself, right, Michael? Oh, I think he might have frozen. Michael, you back?
Yes, I'm back.
You froze for a second. So, Michael, you broke the record in 1996 for the world's jump record of 4.98 meters.
Yes.
So, how did that feel to break that record?
I have really no clue, because my dream was to break this record. I did it in front of 68,000 people in Atlanta. There was no other activity in the arena, so everybody was looking at me. I mean, that's the peak of a live performance in sports. Very few people have done this. So when I came home, I landed at the airport in Stockholm, Sweden. I really thought some magic should happen when I came back. That I finally will not feel empty inside, or something incredible would be happening. And nothing there. But find a different path. But now 30 years later, it's like I don't meet people who've been to the Olympic or Paralympic. I interview some sports coaches. They have never met anybody, trained anybody. It's so rare to do this. But I was so focused when I trained, so focused. So really, it was like another day in my training world. But now I understand that these open doors everywhere. King's dinners, CEOs, I can come in nearly everywhere because it's so rare. So at the time, I was so focused. I broke the world record, and then I was thinking of the next jump, the next thing, the next. So you are so in incredible state of mind, so you don't really reflect on anything else. It was a long story, but I think you understand what I mean.
Absolutely. And it's your story and it needs to be heard.
Yeah.
So, Michael, I want to talk to you about wolves because I've seen some videos of you with wolves. Talk to me about the wolves.
Yeah, this was in Sweden. They have a wolf. They call it. You can visit the wolf. Now it's closed because somebody died there. So I visited this wolf thing with my ex-wife from Sweden. He was filming, and this big wolf came and licked in my face, and it's quite a symbol of present, because if you're present with an animal or a child or people, they get your attention, because there is not so many people that are in the present. So she filmed it. This was 2006. YouTube was in the beginning of their era. So I put this movie out 2006. I think it has 1.1 million views.
The wolves got a lot of views, or Michael got a lot of views with the wolves.
And it's kind of a symbol of what I have achieved, to be present. And your whole channel is about this, to be present, to be authentic. I talk about authentic, to be authentic in your life. Because when you're authentic, you pick different roads all the time. If you have a mask on, you get confused and you disappear into some dream that's not reality. You have to take off the mask, be authentic as much as possible.
So let's talk about this false avatar that you talk about a lot, Michael.
Okay, so the false avatar, I have a good one. The first wife I had here in Thailand, we went to like a dinner, and there was this lady. I got attracted to this lady, but I hide it, and she was attracted to me. So in the car home from that dinner, because Thai people, they are very straightforward. They are living in the present. There is no time in Thailand. So she asked me, why didn't you talk to this lady? What do you mean? Yeah, you were attracted to her and she was attracted to you. But I can't do that. So I tried to hide from this. But here in Thailand, it's accepted. Just be you. That's what I love about Thailand. You have to be your authentic Michael avatar. Nothing more, nothing less. So nearly every people, they never judge your way in life. Oh, he is that, he is that. It's just like a neutral word, how they perceive their role in life. That's authenticity in a way. I think many people understand. We hide our feelings instead of talking. Whatever it is that a good description of what you want the answer?
Well, Michael, that's kind of the fear of what other people think of us, right?
Yeah. So, for me today, the more I discover, because it's a discovery in my world, how I discover myself to seeing possibilities in my life, the more I be aware in my presence, how do I handle different situations, what happened with my feelings in the present. And depending what I have with me, it's like an automatic system. But if I'm aware, this automatic system cannot really take over my present. And tea time, for example, is very similar to my 1%. So what is 1%? 1% is two-part. Part one, you have to stop, reflect, what did I experience now? By doing that, you have like a gap between your acting on emotion and acting on what's the rational way to go. Is it left, right, or just standing still? Go backwards, or whatever you come to. By doing that, you see yourself differently. The other part of 1% is if you want to change something, you have to find like a 1%. It's like a lamp bottom. that if you're in the dark and you switch on the lamp, you can see the room much better. But if you switch it on, you will walk in the room differently compared if the light is off. I can give you an example. I had a client, this is like 25, 35 years ago. He was a middle boss in a company. He had like 3,000 employers under him. He came to me crossing his arm and said, my wife said to me, what can you do with me? Type example. After 3 months, we find his lamp button. And it was really a lamp button because every night he came home and his son had opened the light in every room he went around, but he never closed it. So he got irritated about this. So he was standing at the bottom, hitting it with this irritation. So I said to him, stop, that's perfect. Tonight you come home, the light will be on, 100% sure. Before you hit the lamp button, you just, then you can do whatever you want. 3 days later, he was in this big meeting. It was like 50 or 58 countries, Zoom. It was a big meeting. And he was the leader, so normally he talks a lot. But when he sat down on his chair, he felt the same irritation as with the lamp bottom. So he just, and then he observed what the other people did in the room. And they were frustrated because normally he was talking a lot. But he observed when he spoke, the whole company changed their entire direction because he had a gap between his emotions and the reality, and he could see that if we go this way, it's better than to go that way, which is more emotional thing. I think this describes the power of T as you have the power of 1%. We have to stop, reflect, then act. Sometimes a few seconds, sometimes half an hour, sometimes sleep on it. So it was a long explanation, but I think you understand what I mean.
Absolutely, 100%. And sometimes we just have to pause, reflect, recharge, and release. And sometimes it takes 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, or a good night's sleep. So I want to thank you for that, Michael. I want to talk to you about the method, the Michael Avatar method that you have. I have here a movement, but it's not a movement, it's a method. So let's talk about the method, because you have a 12-week program that I'd like to get out there for the listeners.
Okay, so what's my Michael, the Avatar Michael method? Yeah, it's about being aware. First of all, where are you? It doesn't matter where you come from. That's not the point. Where are you now? And how do you act in where you are now? Most people, if I ask them, which foot do you put on first? Shoe do you put on first? The left or the right? They can't answer. But it's not important. The important thing is if you do the opposite, what happened then? So it's being, we have to thousands of choosing every day. And every day we do it automatically. So that's kind of, we living half a life. Half a life unaware, half life aware. But if we get more awareness of how we interact in our life, we will choose a different path. So this 12 weeks, the Michael Avatar method is to find that unique thing, that life bottom to switch, that presence, that authenticity that most people searching for, be free of this emptiness. Many people mean they are really, really successful, more successful than I've been, but they still are empty inside. They don't know where to go. How do I feel this? But with this awareness, before it took me 6 to 9 months to find this in people. But since I've done this for a long, long time, I find 12 weeks you can do it, because then you get the tools. So what tools do you need? Well, probably if you are a high performance person, you have all the tools. You have done all the courses. You have been everywhere. Listen to people every day, every week. You have everything, but you need to tweak it a little bit to find like the man with the sun. And I help people to find that tweak. I sure I have a lot of tools, but you need to develop your tools so they work for you. That's kind of a short introduction to the Michael Avatar method.
So, Michael, how did you find your tools for your toolbox?
For me, I'm an, what you call it, I act. I'm curious. I go the extra mile to find out the background of nearly anything because I'm curious. I read a book here, and the book was fascinating, but I didn't want to understand the famous person that the book was written about. I wanted to know, why did the writer write this book? Why is he so passionate of interviewing other people to get their story out? So for me, I used to tell people I have like 95% of all the instrument things I have learned in my life. It's not for me. It's for people that I meet. And when I meet these people, wow, here I can use this tool. And then I get the knowledge of that tool in my life. And so it's like an adventure. I get this tool. Oh, should I use it myself? Or am I lucky? So I will meet somebody who need exactly this tool. And sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes a couple of months, sometimes 10 years. You never know. You have to listen. You have to see. It's like adventure. So my tools, I adjust them every time, every day. I find out some new stuff. And last week I find out some strange things about myself that I did 10 years ago, forgetting about it, and now it appears and I start using it again. So it's like, for me, life is an adventure, finding out. I'm curious.
So you
Kind of
added
stuff.
some new tools to your toolbox, Michael.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Or I tweaked it a bit from previous testing. Because if you test a tool, maybe it doesn't work because you're in the wrong phase of your life. And when you use the tool a month later, it fits you because you see more. It's like seeing art or being a painter. Uh, you have to learn how to see art. You have to learn how to paint. Uh, Finally, I can have a picture in my head and I can create it on the Canva. Before, I had a picture in my head, but I couldn't create it on the Canva because I didn't have the skill to transform it. The painting was still good, but it wasn't what I wanted. And that's life too. You have to take your things that you think in your head and transform it into the reality. And when you have it in the reality, like a copy, then you're wow. It's like a wow experience.
Well, Michael, you talked about music and art. Let's talk about music and art. How has that helped you in your journey?
Um, I wanted to be a drummer when I was 7. This is one of my passions, to hold sticks. I couldn't open my hand, so I want to be a drummer. So in that time in Sweden, to go to music courses, you had to play the flute. I couldn't even blow. I couldn't hold the flute, but I was so convinced that I wanted to be a drummer. So I played this flute every Wednesday for 1 year. I can't believe that the teacher never gave up on me. But then I got into this music school with my first mentor. My first mentor was Abdel Rahman El Khatib. He was from Egypt and he wrote the national anthem for Saudi Arabia. What he taught me now, so far away from 30, 40 years ago, no, it's more, it's 50 years ago, is that a note, one note, is the note go out, it could trigger a feeling in the listener. So when I create music, I try to water emotion do I want the listener to get. He was very sad. I had him for 10 years, and then I chose to go training, go to the Paralympic. When I came here to Thailand, I had time. So I met the mentor here in Thailand, and he was doing music and videos, abstract videos. So when I connect with him, the technology has grown a lot since the 70s. So I started again to make music, to make art, to make and work with him. He's coming to me tomorrow to create, because when you're a public speaker, it's very difficult to really get the point out to another person, because they are in their world. You have like 40, 50 minutes to do that. In art, it's a direct connection for people. And it needs no words, it's just connection direct. The same with music. So I find music and art is like a different dimension for people to experience. It's much more easy than talking like this. It's much more direct. I don't know if this explains what I mean.
No, you're doing good. I'm proud of you. Like, you know, we always question if we're doing good, if it's enough, right? And we just gotta be ourselves. Just be you, Michael. You're amazing. You do you, and that's what I want to serve. I want to serve the real tea of Michael, not what Michael wants Miss Liz to think.
No, because that's what I love about you story, your thing, your way of talking to people, your life experience. I want to have authentic people and authentic people listening, because there's so much false people, but authenticity, that's the way. I think that's the only way to go through life. What I believe today is not what I believe in 1 year, hopefully. Because if I believe the same in 1 year, I haven't grown. If I grow, I can meet different people. If I grow, I had this friend that when I moved to Thailand, she wrote to me and she said, wow, now I have to do something. Because she understood why I moved. I haven't told you why I moved to Thailand. It was like this. My hands were cramped. Now I can open them. But if you shake your body like this for 40 years, you will get pain. You have many people with cerebral palsy, around 40, 45, they start taking medicine. Many of the people with cerebral palsy, they don't survive 50 years old. So I had so much cramp, so much pain one winter. This was 2009. And my friend told me, I bought my house in Thailand. So I came to Thailand. After 5 days, I had no pain. Pain-free.
Wow.
I haven't discovered that for 40 years. I had pain every day because it's cold in Sweden. Even in summer, sometimes I could even get this cramp in my body. So I was here 20 days, went back to Sweden. After 3 days, I had pain. So I decided I moved to Thailand. So I quit my company. I had a studio with a lot of paintings. I gave away most of it because there was no time to sell it. So 3 months later, I was just living in Thailand for 3 months. I went back to Sweden 1 week, and then I bought a one-way ticket. Because if I live pain-free, why should I stay in Sweden?
Yeah.
And that's the decision many people dare to take. I didn't know anybody here, but I was pain-free. I thought I was a skilled coach. But if you drop down in a different culture who see the world totally differently, you have to reevaluate and adjust to the country come. So the last 15 or 16 or 17 years, I wake up every day, no pain. That's why I'm in Thailand.
So, Michael, is it because of the temperature that you're pain free?
That's one thing, like it's the humidity too. But I've been to India a lot, and in India it's very dry. You don't have the humidity, and the humidity and the warm weather, I don't get cramps. So it's both. And I live in a part of Thailand where there's very little rain. Uh, Last month it was terrible. We had 7 degrees. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, but that's cold. I can still get the cramp, but normally it's only 2, 3 weeks a year. The rest of the year is always at the 33. That's perfect for my body.
So, did you find a relationship with silence and presence in Thailand?
Yeah, I thought I had it even in Sweden, but not in the way I have now. When I came to Thailand, I had to sit by the beach 1 hour, 2 hours to get. Now, sometimes I go there 2 minutes and I sometimes half an hour. So I get more aware because this is a country where no time exists. Literally, it doesn't exist. If you talk to somebody here what you want to do uh, in 2 weeks, they will not respond to you. I have a funny story. A Thai person, they will want to go shopping. So they put gasoline for 10, 20 baht to go shopping, even if they know that they need a motorbike in the afternoon. Oh, okay. So in the afternoon, they put gasoline again in present all the time. That's, and to live in a country like that, it affects you. So you are more calmer. Some people who see me 10 years later, what have you done? You look even younger than 10 years because this outer stress that the Western world have. What will the neighbor think? What will the people that work think? All that, it doesn't exist here in Thailand because you have to be authentic. You have to be you all the time. If I try to put a face on me, what are you doing now? They will not wait. They will say it straight away. So my 1%, the avatar, the Michael avatar method, it has never existed if I haven't been here to experience. I have met some people, they are so calm, they are so balanced, they are so, I can't achieve that even in 50 years. They are totally present, totally, I can't express it.
Michael, let's talk about the 4 A's in your book Life Reset. You have the awareness, acceptance, alignment, and action. Let's talk about those 4 A's.
Okay. So the first step is to be aware. I think I've covered that quite well. To be aware. The last step, I meet so many people over the years. They don't do the last step. They don't move to Thailand, even if they should. They don't call that phone call they know will relieve their sorrow, their happiness, or whatever. They don't do the action step. And because they are not aware of the effects. I like this man. They say that the more mistakes you have made in life, test your way of living. The greater success you have with you. We are here to explore the world from my point of view. And the more I explore, the less afraid I am about making mistakes. But it's not really mistakes, it's the way of life. Because life is about change. That's the only constant thing in life, change. If I want something else, I have to change. And that change is always outside your comfort zone. If you don't go out your comfort zone, you will never explore something new in your life. So action is one of the trickiest things of these four steps. Awareness is about stop, have tea, have 1%. Then do the other two and then action. Because it's when you do action that you can evaluate what happened. When you have the evaluation, oh, this was not what I meant. So you have to test another way. Or, oh, this was what I wanted to do. Let's do a bit further, a bit further. So, not to go into details, but I think people understand. You have to be aware, you have to take pause, then you have to do the steps, and then action, and then reevaluate. Was this what I wanted to do? And then go out there again. Action, action. I'm an action person. I test. And I'm wrong all the time. I'm exploring, testing, and that's the way I live my life.
So, Michael, do you have any big plans coming up that you'd like to talk about besides the workshop that you provide?
I have an app that I'm developing. I don't even know the name yet. I had the chain of golden line was one name. What is this app about? You know, I'm a writer. I have written some books. Some are on Amazon. They are not really perfect. Some I have on my website, and I've been in many books. So I've written a lot of texts, lot of thoughts over the year, diaries, whatever. And so I should put it in a book. But then I had a friend who was making apps. So I thought, wow, let's do an app of all these thoughts. So I have like 180 days of my reflection in different situations. So that's one of my goals this spring, to get this app out so people can do this tea time or 1% stop reflex. And it's all my thoughts in a line how you develop training your brain to see the world differently. So it's like an evidence-based reflection from Michael Avatar. That's what I'm feeling. Another thing I'm doing is this podcast thing. I like the 100 in all things I do. 100 paintings. Then you can decide, should I be a painter or should I do something else? I did 100 YouTube videos. I did 100 music pieces. I did 100 live stream. So now I'm testing live 100 podcasts and see where it's ending up. So I'm the 100 guy.
I kind of like that 100. I did 100 podcasts. I did 100 paintings. I did 100 walks. I did 100 jumps. You know, and that's really empowering as well. And that was part of your T, was the empowerment, the endurance,
Yeah.
the movement.
Yeah, because after 100, then I really know the stuff. Before it's kind of weak, but if you've done 100, then you can say, oh, this is for me, or this is not for me.
Absolutely. And that's that 1% to 100.
Yes.
I am that 100 of the 1% of trying.
Yeah. And if you do that, it takes you around, I don't know how many hours, but you will be within the 5% of the best in the world on that field. Then if you want to go to the 1%, but really you can't measure yourself with anybody else. If you get authentic, then you are the number one in your world. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Michael, what's the final message you'd like to leave with all the listeners tonight?
I love this story about Winston Churchill. I don't even think if it's true or not, or maybe just gossip, but he held one of his last public speaking. He went up to the stage and it was quiet in the room, and they expected him to talk, a big talk, a really big talk, but he only said, never give up. Never give up. Never give up. And then he walked off the stage. I love that story.
And that's really empowering, Michael, because so many people give up.
Yeah. I hope I could inspire some people to take steps in the world with my story here. That's my goal, to inspire, to see different part how you can live a life, and they will take steps in their life.
Well, Michael, you've inspired me tonight, and you've inspired my listeners out there to continue to never give up, to have the endless possibilities. So I just want to do a wrap up of tonight's tea time, and then we're going to wrap it up. As we close this tea time, I want to pause for a moment, because what we heard today wasn't just a story of achievement. It was a story of identity. Michael showed us that strength is not medals. It is not world records. It is not sailing across oceans. True strength is the courage to remove the mask. He reminded us that you can conquer the world on the outside, and you still can feel lost on the inside. And that awakening doesn't begin when you win, it begins when you're honest. From being born without a heartbeat to standing on Paralympic podium to breaking down and rebuilding from within. Michael's journey teaches us that resilience without authenticity is exhaustion, but resilience with awareness becomes power. So here is something for you all to reflect on as you leave this cup. Where is your life? Where in your life are you performing instead of being present? Where have you created a false avatar to survive? And what would it look like to gently lay it down? This conversation offers more than inspiration, it offers a mirror that asks you to move through awareness into acceptance, towards alignment, and finally into action. Not action driven by pressure, but action rooted in truth. Michael, thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your courage. And thank you for reminding us that authentic power is not loud, it is aligned. And to everyone listening, may this cup stay with you. May it challenge you gently. May it strengthen you quietly. And may it remind you that your next chapter does not require a mask, it requires you. Until next tea time, I will see everybody on Thursday and we'll have 2 new stories coming to the table. So thank you again, Michael, for joining me on Tea Time. Thank you to all the listeners and continue to be you because you are an incredible young man.
Thank you.